Hello and welcome to glennzb TV, the show that puts glennzb into your virtual headset. I'm bringing New Zealand to the world, and the world to New Zealand. And I'll tell you what, when I first get to work in the morning, which is usually at about 4:45, you want to just sort of quickly get a handle on what's going on in the world, and there's various, like if you look around the studio now using your virtual headset or just your mouse, you'll see that there's a couple of TVs in this studio with various news channels on. There's a lot of that sort of stuff goes on in this building. And this morning, as I was doing that, just to see, explosions, invasions, outbreaks, eruptions, hurricanes, those sorts of things. On Sky News, this is what was going on here. Now, I don't know how clearly you can make that out, but what that is a lady who in some kind of robe, kind of like a bathrobe, and then behind her there are at least 3 people up poles. Seems like more because there's a lot of mirrors as well. A lot of poles, a lot of mirrors. She's wearing a robe. I think she's just recently been up a pole, I'm guessing. So she was talking about pole dancing. It's just been officially named a sport, and now they're pushing to get it included in the Olympics as a result of that. But I couldn't really hear what she was saying because, of course, this was going on in the background. And that's like, literally, that's the first bit of news I saw today. And I haven't been able to really reboot after that. So, it's little wonder that I'm an emotional wreck. I feel an emotional wreck. But I felt like I was an emotional wreck even before that happened this morning. And there's 2 reasons. One, immediately before getting here, there was traffic. I encountered traffic. So I leave my house at about 25 past 3 in the morning. I'm not expecting to be held up with traffic. And yet there was that whole sort of rolling block situation of cars, trucks, all sort of going well under the speed limit. I like to push cruise control. I set it for 102, which is actual. In fact, that is 100. But you know how your car speedo, rounds it up a bit. So I set it on 102 and I just sleep all the way into work. That's the safe way to do it. And I had to actually concentrate on what I was doing. It was not fun for me. Why is there traffic at that hour of the morning? So that put me in a fragile place emotionally. And then this is on the back of, I didn't sleep at all well last night because the fibre man came round yesterday. Him and his offsider, they came to do the scope the place out, and just talk through the logistics of running the fibre from the street to my house, and put the little box inside the house that I can plug my modem into. And it was a disaster. It's not going to happen now. He was talking about concrete cutting. He was talking about digging trenches, drilling through walls. So I'll be living in a VDSL world while everybody else is fibering away out there. So the F in my FOMO will stand for fibre I'm missing out on. Doesn't quite work, but so yeah. I'm just feeling a bit fragile today, to be honest. Still, at least it looks like that war in Syria, well, the war against ISIS in Syria, anyway, it's so complicated. But what that operation, that particular operation, which they seem to be on the verge of wrapping things up in Raqqa, that operation is called Inherent Resolve. That's the. Just when you think the name of these operations can't get any... What was there one called Enduring Freedom or something at one stage? I don't know. And they need to get Saatchis and Saatchis or somebody into Wyburn, somebody in to give them some better words for their operation. What they did get right, though, is that this guy's name is Ryan Dillon. Colonel Ryan Dillon. Square jaw, great name. So that's they got that bang on. But yeah, your operation needs a better name than Inherent Resolve. That's not going to scare the bejesus out of me unless it means something terrifying and whatever language ISIS speaks. Finally, this is a bit of disgusting news. Apparently, it's hoped an endangered giant snail will re-establish itself in a Marlborough Sounds inlet for the first time in decades. The Palaphanta. Sorry. I mean, it's only just been rediscovered, so you'll excuse me if I've mispronunciated it. The Palaphanta was discovered by an outward bound course group in Endeavour Inlet last week. It's the first live specimen they've found since the early 1990s. It's very endangered. The snails can live for up to 20 years and they eat meat. Apparently they can slurp up earthworms like spaghetti. So there's a beautiful little mental image for you to go away with this morning. The image of a giant snail slurping up earthworms like spaghetti. And what I want to know is, that sounds like a fun outward bound course, doesn't it? If you're going around looking for snails. I am glennzb. Thanks, as you can tell, I'm, like I say, emotional wreck. But thanks for having me in your virtual headset anyway. And I will see you back here again tomorrow. Maybe I'll get myself together by then.